Hey guys, I wanted to talk about my personal hero, King Baldwin IV, the leper king of Jerusalem. He ruled during the Crusader period in the Christian kingdom of Jerusalem. He ruled from 1174 to 1185. Now, he became king when he was 13 years old after his father died, and he had leprosy so badly that he lost the ability to walk at a very young age, and his hands and his face became very disfigured to the point to where he had to cover his face with a mask or a veil when he was around people. He also had to have gloves and a robe on all the time to cover his disfigurement. He had to be carried by other people, but he mastered the ability of riding a horse at a very young age, even with some of his senses dulled in his extremities. He was able to lead his troops in battle, even though he was a sickly young man. Now, instead of letting powerful men that were deceitful and greedy and looking to control the kingdom, instead of letting some of those lords manipulate him and take power, he was a very smart young man. He was a very pious Christian young man. He knew how to lead the kingdom without letting these greedy people win. Now, whenever he first took the throne, there was an invasion from the great general Saladin of the Arab forces. Now, King Baldwin led a force of just 300 and something knights and I think 1,000 foot soldiers against a very large force of Saladins. Now, before the battle, he got off of his horse and he prayed before the true cross that Christ was crucified upon, and he asked for victory. And he stood on his 2 feet, which was very hard to do, and he told his men that God was on their side, and they won. They drove back the Arab forces, and eventually he died, and the person who inherited his throne was a very greedy, bad man, which caused the kingdom to be overrun. But during the time that he was alive, he was the best example of a humble, intelligent, wise ruler, someone who followed the message of Christ and led his men in a very holy way. Thank you.